I've done a similar one to this. Just it's one that was in an exhibition years ago, probably in 1999, 2000. Can you see that? It's very small, so I can't enlarge it. I haven't got any originals of this one, but it's got a windmill and it's a typical Norfolk scene with some trees, a sky, nice sky. I'm going to try to do a bit of a stormy sky if I can, if it works out that way, so that I can counterchange some sort of windmill against the darker sky. Here I am. So here we go. Piece of hardboard. I've done two. I've got a frame, or a couple of frames that size. This 14 inches by 11. They're not very good frames, but it'll do. And what I've done, I've put some pins. Although I was going to do an oil painting, but I've changed my mind. I'll stick with the acrylic. I've put some pins in the rebate here, so that if you put wet paint board in the frame, it won't stick to the inside of the frame. It'll stay on the pins. So it's just a little dodge I worked out myself years ago. Saved many a frame from ruin and lumps out of the edge of the painting. Right, so there we are. That's a roughed up board, piece of hardboard, very thin, not very bendy. I've just used some acrylic varnish that I've got, just to seal the surface, make it waterproof. And that's about it really. So I'll work away the sky. I'm going to use alizarin crimson, which I have here. I keep saying this, when you buy these tubes, look for the tubes with the big tops, that or the screw tops, the big, that you can get a nice grip. These silly little things, they go hard with the paint, and you have to use pliers to release them, and it's a bit of a nuisance. So you don't save anything by buying the smaller tubes. Buy the biggest you can get. I need some black as well. I use a lot of black for making my greens. Black and blue. I've started to use again the monestial blue, which is very, very strong. I'm looking for it now to squeeze some out. I mix it with a bit of black and the lemon yellow, and it certainly does make a very, very good green. Oh, there we are, monestial blue. This one is a roundy colour, but you don't need a lot of it. It's almost Prussian blue. It's a version of it. So here we are. It's quite a small painting, so well, bit of cloud on the horizon. So blue. This is going to be my ultramarine has dried, so I'm going to take the old dried stuff off and put a new lot out. Damn the expense. Ooh, this is chroma colour, but it's several years old now and it's got a bit hard in the tube. Chroma colour, they're responsible for these lovely stay wet palettes. And it's an American company, but I've got a warehouse nearby. My business is fitting carpets, and I use a wholesaler. That just happens to be right opposite Chroma. So sometimes I can call in for one and spend my money on something else. Right, let's just get that a bit darker now. Whatever you put on, you're going to change. So it's really just putting something on to kill the canvas, kill the board. Flop some paint on. And then when that dries, which should be very quick, you can I'm not sure whether that's going to really work. But anyway, another brush, a bit more yellow, bit of red, bit of ochre. When I say red, I mean light red. Don't use a lot of cadmium red. Nice bit of warm as well. I'm not copying the pictures, just there as a prompt, an aid memoir. We'll work at this till we get a reasonable impression of the sky. I can always put in a little bit of blue, just a bit of blue sky breaking through. You might think I'm too old to fit carpets, but I'm not. I don't do a lot though. At my age, it's this get a bit hard, and a lot of my customers now think I'm dead. I think I won't phone because he would have retired or 6 foot under. But here I am, painting all this for you. Been out of my bike this morning, a few errands. And now I'm painting this grandson this afternoon. Going to go and pick him up from school. I hope you enjoyed my Chichester paintings. A bit of blue. The blue I cut with a bit of alizarin because it just, the ultramarine used in sun is a bit bright. Just kills, takes the edge, the sort of sting out of it. Well, remember you want nice light clouds. It's all about contrast. Light against dark. If you want something to look light, you need places against dark, but that's a relative term because skies during the day are never black, are they? Unless you're under a great big whirlwind, tornado. Right, let's get this darker. I might use a bit of mix the two reds with the blue to make this nice bit of light, a bit of dark here. Look. It's this I want to place my windmill against. I'm going to get that coming across here. I wouldn't say this will be a constable sky, but now we're going with a bit of light cloud, which will be the yellow, the ochre and the light red. And a bit of light showing through that cloud. Ah, that's a nice colour. Sort of pink. The pink is sort of made from white and the light red. It's a lovely Venetian sky colour, I reckon. Okay, let's get some more dark in there. I don't think that ultramarine is doing me any favours. It's just too far gone. It's just dried too much in the tube. That's coming on, that's looking quite nice. Bit of yellow in there. And dark. No, I'm going to have to jump that blue, I think. No, it's not behaving. I've got loads of blue, like I've got a nice big, where are you? Big tube, look at that. Nice big. What's in there? 150 millilitres, a good size. I'm going to scrape that blue off there. Oh, I've ruined me. I've cut through my membrane. Have to be a bit careful there. I'll scrap it after this. Go. Let's put the ultramarine in there. Right, now we're going with the darker sky colour, cloud colour. I want some light in there against that dark. Have a waste paper bin by your offside, just to drop things in, keep tidy. I don't always take my own advice, of course. Right, I want white, ochre, light red, and then we'll just go in with this. Well, there's a nice, reasonable sky. Okay, so we'll put in one a low horizon, but I want a nice greeny, ochre. Oh. Just get a horizon in, across there. We're going to put up some dark trees along this line here. This is like a grass line. Typical Norfolk landscape. Now, put in some nice green, so I'm using the Windsor blue, burnt sienna and lemon yellow. Oh, here we are. So let's just put those in across there. Nice and thick here. I'll put some blue behind that, I think, just to give some depth to it. Oh, let's just change the green there, I think. Some nice darks. Very, very dark green here. I was using black in this. Black and burnt sienna, blue yellow. Right. Clean the brush, and I'll put in some blue. Just behind that. I'll use a wider brush, an inch flat here, and I'll put in some grasses along the back here. Try and keep it nice and light. I'm not doing a masterpiece here, I'm just showing you how I'm approaching a flattish landscape, which, as you know, I like. Certainly easier to do, but that's not a reason to do it. It's just as hard painting nothing as doing loads of detail. The thing is, when you look at a photograph, it's full of detail and you don't know what to put in and what to leave out. It's quite bewildering. So keep it all simple. That has gone up a bit high there, so I'm going to just bring that back down again. Not the right price for this, is it? Oh, well. I have to go back over that. I haven't given much thought to how I'm going to do this windmill, where it's going to go, or how big it's going to be. I'm just interested in texturing at the moment. Nice bit of light going across there. Nice. A light here. It's a little bit wet, the paint I'll just put on there. Well, the paint behind. But I'll have to go over that when it's dried. So let's just put some stuff in there. Going with a bit of dark. Bit of shadow in the landscape, and cloud shadow, undulations in the ground. Now, because we're going to put some green in now, I'm going to go over this with a red. Nice red because it counts change greens. I do this a lot. Cover up the background, and this gives me a nice dark tone over which to superimpose the lights, and some of it might show through with a bit of luck. We can put a slipper on there just to give a surface underneath that we can drag paint over. I made this up as I went along, didn't I? Because I started to do the light middle ground, but really I wanted it to be dark. And then the light will show far better then. It's just that's better. Right, whatever I said, let's go and do some sort of windmill. Light coming from here. Windmills, well, what should I say? White, they can be black, made out of wood, painted wood, cedar, white clapboard. But since we're making it up, let's make it up with a bit of burnt sienna, and we'll put in here. Use my inch brush, my inch flat, with nice, get some sails in there. Right, we'll leave that alone. For a minute they dry. We'll go back over that as and when. This can be slightly dark on one side, but being a light colour, it's going to show against that dark background, but it needs some no detail in these trees. So let's clean the brush. Now we'll get in the nice light colours. Soften that edge there. Just to keep it all nice and soft, because it's on the distance, you won't see a hard edge along there. Now let's get in some nice greens now. So I'm mixing a bit of lemon yellow with some of this now. I'll put some water in the pond in there. Right. Just like that. Soften all that now. So that now lays back a little bit in the landscape. Maybe I won't put any water in there, I'll just do the simple field. Put some cornflowers and things in there, poppies. Use my big brush now, my long hairy brush. remember when you're doing foregrounds, you're looking out there, you're not looking at your feet. Worth remembering when you think, oh, there's so much in the foreground because you can see, but just do it quickly. Put a few flowers in, a few strokes with a rigger, and call it a day, because that's where you're looking out there. Oh, just using the hairs on the brush. Okay, let's get a nice light bit here. Then I'll work on the windmill. Right. I'm making this up. Okay. I need some more light on here. So I just want to put these nice things in here. Just some wild meadow flowers here, and there. And then we'll put in some blue. I went through our local park over the weekend on my bike, and they put in a nice wide cycle pedestrian path. It was very muddy when it rained, and it's really a marvellous thing. The park I'm talking about is Grove Park in Carshalton. And there's a bit of grass by where it flooded by the sports centre that has been left or encouraged as a meadow, a small meadow, with all these lovely cornflowers and things, poppies. Oh, it's just gorgeous. It's only a little bit, probably 50-60 square yards maybe, but so attractive. I'm looking for a nice red, vermilion actually. Got all those horrible lids on. Let's put that. I won't waste any of my paints. I'll put a new membrane on the wet sponge underneath. A bit more water, and then I'll put the paint on. I'll scrape the paint off with a palette knife. Can't waste it. Now this is a few poppies. Well, here we are, we've got a meadow. There's a bit of white in there. Okay, we could overdo that, couldn't we? Give it a nice clean. Just a bit more on that, bring some light coming from the behind the clouds onto that nice landscape. Bit of ochre. And I'll have to put a bit of a hedge in front or around that windmill to anchor it to the landscape. going to choose a little brush here. I just want to put some. Right, let's put a door there. Just reduce that intensity there. I need to just put some light in front of that. Well, I've got to find the appropriate brush here. Oh, that one's gone. Oh dear. Oh, that one's got dried out. Another brush bites the dust. Just reducing this intensity. Of what I hope to have been a bit of a hedge or bush across there. See, now I've got the surface on there, I can drag over that with my lights. So it's just hitting and missing now. There's a touch of yellow in the white, just to, I don't want pure white on there. Okay, right, let's, I'll sign that. There's much else I want to do to that. I'm going to sign it, then try and sort my brush out that I seem to have ruined. I'll put it in a frame. Oh, we could put a little bird in there, couldn't we? No narrative, just a simple bit of countryside with a windmill in it. A pot boiler, you might say. Oh, there we are. One windmill, one bit of Norfolk landscape. Let's zoom in. There we are, there's the windmill. There's my foreground. A few flowers in the foreground. Cornflowers, poppies, kitchen sink. But a simple background trees. I'll put some blue on the horizon to stretch the landscape back, and the sky. Right, let's see what's come out of that. So there we are. Dave's painting. Where's my photograph? I'll show you the photograph again. The original on the photograph here was oil, but as you know, I don't do oil so much because of the toxins. It affects me breathing. So there we are. Hope you enjoyed that. I could even put a little bit of darker blue, but no, I'll leave it as it is. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.